Okay.
Hey, Rob, how are you?
Good morning. Did you get my mural thing?
I did. I haven't had a chance to open it on my computer as opposed to my phone.
Well, you'll be so impressed. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Rob. How are you doing?
I'm excellent, thank you.
Good.
Lynn, how are you?
I'm good. How is everybody?
We're
Hello,
just
hello.
chugging along.
That's what we can do, right?
Yep. Turn off the TV and chug along.
Barry, is that you?
Yes, it is. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I recognize that room.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
See if we have anybody else. Not seeing anybody. Shall we go ahead and get started, Angela? Do you want to kick
Sure,
things?
let's get started. My name's Angela Scully. I'm working with the Chester County Community Foundation on Chester County 250. It's really just a great lever to highlight the historic assets of our community and to understand that they're not just about history, it's also about the economy. So getting people to visit, eat, stay, sleep, and have fun, right? We're all about fun. Okay, so I thought we'd do some brief introductions. If everybody could introduce themselves. This is the broader mainline conversation, because we found that when we did the Tredyffrin Easttown, there's so much, I mean, Paoli is Tredyffrin, so we had a Paoli group as well. So by unifying everybody, we're broadening the conversation. Okay, so we'll start with you, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn Frederick. I am representing Malvern Borough. I'm a counselor and I'm also a 25-year member of the Historical Commission.
Okay. Rob?
Good afternoon, Rob Williams. Two jobs. I chair the Historical Commission in Tredyffrin Township, and I also serve on the Chester County 250 Commission.
Okay. For Historic Sugartown?
Hi, I'm Barry Rawhauser. I'm with Historic Sugartown. And we are in Willistown Township, so we care about the surrounding area quite a bit.
And we also have Shauna from Willistown Township.
Hi, yes, Shauna Lodge here. I'm the township manager in Willistown Township. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, so
Great,
excited.
thank
I go down to the Willistown Conservation Trust on a regular basis.
Excellent. Yeah, we have some wonderful open space here in Willistown, and we're excited to have some of our usual events, adjusted in accordance, to celebrate 250 and perhaps add some events for next year as well. So, yeah, we're thrilled to be a part of this conversation. Thank you.
Okay, and Jen, first of all, I love your outfit.
I know, isn't that great?
I know.
Oh my God, that's right. I couldn't tell what it was until now.
It says,
Okay,
and it says
I need to get one of
Valley.
those.
The encampment store has it at the visitor center. So so those who don't know me, my name is Jennifer McMenamin. I am acting as Valley Forge National Historic Parks liaison and coordinator for the A250 and the park's 50th birthday. I'm a former NPS employee. I retired last April. So they brought me back to help kind of assist with this endeavor. So, and they
Nice.
sell these at the encampment store. So, and they say Valley Forge on the back.
Oh, this
So
is
much
so
fun.
great. So we have a small turnout, small but mighty today, because it's August, right? And you can get a parking space and the traffic isn't so bad. So there are some good things, but the bad thing is we have a small turnout for our meeting. So I was going to turn it over to Heather, my colleague Heather, talk about some additional resources, and then we can share some ideas.
So hello, everybody. I think everyone knows me. I used to be over at Historic Sugartown until 3 years ago, and have been working on different projects in Chester County since then on the Heritage Tourism Plan, with 250 with Angela, and a couple other planning projects, and this is a little endeavor. So What I'm going to do, I'm going to share some updates on that we've been hearing about in the past couple of weeks. And I'm going to put some stuff in the chat. First of all, I wanted to let you know that I put the correct link to our bulletin board for our mainline Zoom. Somebody else just popped in the waiting room too. I'm going to
Hopefully it's Frank. No, it's Pearl.
It is Pearl. So the first thing that you'll see in there is our Google Doc for recording all of our notes from these meetings. We've also added at the top of that document a calendar of events as it's because there's things starting to fill for 2026, 2027. We're doing this for each of the regions. So you could pop onto the website to find what other regions are doing as well, and add any notes that you'd like to in this particular one. We've also added in all the fun dates for next summer, the federal holidays, of course, but also all the sports events that Philadelphia is doing that we'll probably be avoiding like the plague out here in Chester County. So,
But I'm just going to repeat a little statistic from our CVB person who said fully 70% of people who are coming here for a sports event do not have tickets. They're coming with somebody who does. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to come out and see things and do things. Thank you.
So that's first thing. And before I talk about some of the other resources that have popped up, I want to ask if Pearl could introduce herself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Pearl.
Okay, hi. I've taken the audio and turned it on. Anyway, I'm Pearl Nudie. I'm having
Hey,
trouble.
Pearl.
Hi, how
Angela.
are you? How are you?
Good.
I'm having trouble with my video, but and I'm not at home, and I'm happy to be a part of this Zoom. So, I'm very interested in what's happening for the for 250, and I appreciate being included. If there's anything in particular anyone needs me to do, please let me know. Hi, Rob. I see you sitting there. I'm just here.
And why do we know each other, Pearl?
I don't know. How do we know each other, Rob? Oh, yeah, that's right. Historical Commission.
And I work the polls with Pearl.
Yeah, and I'm all over the place, and I do other things as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm here because I want to be able to participate. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be able to do to contribute, but I'm here if you need something in particular done. But really, I'm very interested in working the 250.
Okay.
So that's
and Frank.
Yes,
Thanks for
Frank
joining.
Ortner also just popped on.
Yeah.
We're doing productions, Frank. We just finished up and we wanted to add you into the mix here. Can you say hello to everyone?
Doesn't look like his microphone is on.
Oh, yes, you're muted at the moment.
I think Frank's with the Paoli Battlefield.
Yes.
Paoli Memorial Association.
There he is.
Yeah, the Paoli Memorial Association. I'm chairman of the grounds committee and vice president of that, and we're working on getting a heritage center in, and hopefully we're looking to get that done by July of next year.
Yay.
That's great. I'm not sure, is iPad 2 somebody here as well?
Yes.
Or somebody. Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Janice Olson. I'm sorry to be a little late to the meeting.
No worries.
Janice Olson.
And where are you from, Janice?
I am a member of the Historic Commission in Tredyffrin Township,
Great.
an associate of Rob Williams.
Great.
Oh, good.
Well,
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to pop back over to the chat so you could see I had already popped in a document. It's our bulletin board for the mainline Zooms. So we populate this. Beth is currently writing notes for us from today's meeting, but we keep this updated on a regular basis. We've also added a calendar to it that shows not only events that are starting to populate the calendar for 2026, 2027, but also any of the sporting events that are already scheduled for 2026 that we might be planning around, and as well as the federal holidays, so everybody can kind of see where everything is in relation to each other.
Heather, I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Have you actually put something in there?
Yes, I could pop it again in there again though.
It's completely blank. Oh, there's something now. Okay.
There, probably, okay.
Excellent.
So sorry about that.
That's okay.
I don't know why that didn't come up before. So you could see that document. And as I said, these are evergreen. We're constantly adding to them. If we hear of another event in your region, we'll go ahead and pop it on in between our meetings. And so if you have heard of something, and we will go around to get updates from everybody, please let us know, and we will continue to add those in. So I want to bring you up to speed on some resources that we've heard about recently in the last couple weeks. First and foremost, we had a wonderful conversation a couple weeks back with a couple of people from the National Constitution Center. It was their Director of National Programs, and I believe her title is the Vice President of Communications for the National Constitution Center. And they are going to be kicking off a number of events in relation to the upcoming film or documentary, the 6-part series, The American Revolution. So let me get back to my list.
And that's the Ken Burns.
Yes, this is going to be a big deal.
So they're going to be kicking off a number of things. So, but first and foremost, and they're going to start kicking off a lot of their programming for 250 on September 17th, which is Constitution Day. So I'm going to first put that that one in the chat, because it'll give you the overall view of all of their different events for sorry, I'm trying to get back to my document that I'm pulling these from for you. They'll have a number of events that day, culminating with town hall in the evening with Judge Amy Comey Barrett. But during that day, one of the events they're going to be having is the launch of their America 250 Civic Toolkit, and that's happening at 1:30 on that day. And let me
The 17th.
On the 17th, yeah. And this toolkit will include an interactive version of the Declaration of Independence. So we wanted to let everybody know about that right away because of our other initiative to have readings of the Declaration throughout the Chester County next year or next summer. So we wanted to let you know about that. And that day they'll be kicking off a number of different things. The other, here's also the link for their free town halls. They have these monthly, and they feature a bunch of different high profile people. And it's just a wonderful resource we wanted everybody to be aware of. And let's see what else. And their other resource that you can share with your organization with them is they offer free civic calendars. I don't know how long it takes for them to get these out to folks, because I've requested one myself, but they're at the point they're getting a ton of requests, but you can get this from them, and it will offer you all the different events coming up in terms of a civic calendar and planning for any kinds of
and they want you to share it.
Yeah, and they want all this shared. So we're more than happy to do this. And that is
Will you be able to send out an email concerning this calendar?
Which calendar? Just the civic engagement? Yeah.
Yes.
What it is, it's that link that I just sent. You can put in your information, and they'll send it directly to you.
Okay.
So yeah.
You sent that. You sent that link to whom?
I put it in the chat.
Frank, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, we'll do a quick wrap up with all this, with all these links too. So
Angela knows I need help.
No worries. And there's a bunch of them here, but it's a lot of times it's easier to copy these from the chat and then pop them into your own browser.
And Beth sends out a follow-up email, and they'll all be in there as well.
And we could
And I
put,
think we should put where Jen got her shirt, because I totally am. I'm gonna drive down the hill and get one.
and we could put these in the calendar or in our bulletin board too, if that's helpful for folks.
Yeah, I'll add them.
So
Thank you, Beth.
so, and this, I'm gonna add this. This is a press release, this last item. It's advertising their broadcast of the Ken Burns. The Ken Burns documentary, it's 6 parts, as I said. It's 2
2
hours
hours each.
piece. And it's airing on PBS between November 16th and November 21st. They are following, when I say they, the National Constitution Center and PBS have teamed up to have a broadcast of a special with Ken Burns and his compatriots about the documentary, and it's taking place at the National Constitution Center. They're pre-taping it, but it'll be airing on November 24th. So one of the things we will be advertising coming up, it was just wrapping up. Kim Andrews, who's also on our team, has been putting together a toolkit for you all to use if you're interested. Both WHYY and the National Constitution Center are promoting the idea of having watch parties for the documentary, either for the 2-hour piece ones or but particularly the one on November 24th, they're special. So they will so we're going to be rolling that out, and we're going to have some information sessions on how to organize a watch party in late September. The first one will be on Friday, September 26th at noon. And the other one will be on Monday, October 6th. I'm sorry, Friday, September 26th at noon was the first one. Monday, October 6th at 4:30 p.m. is the second one.
You say that one more time, I'll put it in the chat.
Sure. Friday, September 26th at noon. Monday, October 6th at 4:30.
And what is this going to be?
It's going to be information sessions about how to put together a watch party for these for the documentary special. So we'll be getting more information out about this. This was just we were pulling all this together late last week. So we want to start at least getting the dates on people's calendars.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And I think they want the idea of a watch party, say, have it at the library and a time, or have it at your space and have a time. The idea of using it as a conversation piece.
That's right. So the other resource, and I'm not sure we shared this at the last Zoom, I'm not sure we had it yet, was the idea of, and this is an idea for pairing it up with a Dare to Declare declaration reading, but it could honestly also be done with these watch parties. But the idea of having a wish wall, this is something that New York Historical and a group called, it's an organization called Made by Us.
It's for youth. That Made by Us is very much a youth oriented.
Very much, very much. They are, you can put together a wish wall where you have people who are coming to your organization. I'm just going to throw this out there as an example. Say at the country fair that Willistown Parks and Rec has, you have a wall outside and people can write on a postcard what their birthday wish for America is. And they can either hang it up on a clothesline, or they can put it in a box and then somebody can hang it up for them later. The idea being that people can share their what they hope for America. Now, I attended a Zoom debrief. They did this year, and they also they had one of these at the Smithsonian, but they also had them all across America in different organizations, and they were nervous cats given the political climate. They weren't sure what to expect out of it. Were they opening a can of worms? These were the thoughts that were going through their head. And they were honestly pleasantly surprised. One group, I want to say it was the Liberty Museum down in Philadelphia. They had people put them, write their message on a postcard and they put them in a box, and then their staff would come around every so often and double check them and then hang them up. So they had strict rules about profanity, you know, none, try to keep it civil, that sort of thing. And there was only a couple instances across the board at all these different organizations where they had to flag something and not hang it up. They were also very mindful of walking the line of you know, preserving freedom of speech, as you know, and going through and checking these cards and hanging them up.
It actually gives you hope.
Yeah, it really does. And it does, you know, and the impressions folks were getting were people just, you know, they were talking about their favorite causes, the things that they love about the country, the things that they wish were better. It was very, they were surprised and pleasantly surprised of the positivity that went along with it. And they also found that it was just a wonderful way to engage the public in a conversation, and on a somewhat passive but an active level, where people can write their messages, their hopes and dreams for America at its 250th birthday. So
And again, either of these things can be attached to an event that you do.
yes, exactly. So so that's the role we're trying to fill with these Zooms too, is to, when we hear about these resources, to pass them on to you. And if you have more questions about them, feel free to reach out. There's a lot of different resources. I put a link in the chat for the planning document that Made by Us have. They have a number of different links to their resources. So if folks are interested in getting into that deeper, I'm happy to share them. They, on another link, they were posting pictures from this year's Wish Walls initiative. And I think, but they're full force starting to plan for next year. So I'm kind of monitoring their site to see if anything new has popped up and if there's
I also
something
want to
better
say,
to share with you.
I was also going to interject that the wish wall can be digital as well.
Yes.
They
And
have
do
a
have
format for that on that site.
I can put that one up. Yeah, they have a national digital wall that stays up, and they're preserving these. I believe the one at the Smithsonian, they were going to create a time capsule with as well and save it. There's the wish, I just added the digital wish wall so people can see that. It kind of comes up as a bunch of different post-it notes. It's kind of cute. So that's more food for thought, for things to add to any of your 250 planning so far. Angela, shall I kick it back over to you as I run?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's start with Jen. How's the planning going at Valley Forge? I think people, like, I didn't know that Valley Forge was only 50 years old because you were a state park before that.
Correct. So yeah, so we are the only National Park Service site also that was signed into law being a National Park Service site on July 4th. So July 4th, 1976, President Ford signed it from a state park to a National Park Service site. So
may I interject something there?
Yes.
On July 4 of 76, President Ford attended, he flew in by helicopter that evening and signed that particular petition, as far as a bill, act, whatever it was, to make Valley Forge State Park a national park. And my wife and I were there, and it was a wonderful event. I mean, all these stagecoaches, I don't mean stagecoaches, covered wagons.
Oh, the Conestoga wagons.
Yes.
From 50 states, including
people still
Alaska
talk about that.
and Hawaii. It was fantastic. I mean, I ended up buying one of those covered wagons. It it was a wonderful observation of the 4th of July on the 200th anniversary. And that night, the fireworks were crazy. It was incredible.
And we want that kind of enthusiasm and interest in those kinds of memories for people, because if we don't get busy, it's going to pass us
Gonna
by.
fade away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was a lovely evening, lovely afternoon and evening. And little did I know at the time that my wife, our youngest son, was there as well, but in utero as far as my wife was concerned. So, you didn't remember a thing.
Thank you, Frank. So Jen?
So yeah, so the park is actually going to focus more on the park's 50th
Nice.
anniversary, as opposed to, because our 250 doesn't actually happen until the following year with the march in.
Absolutely. Right.
So, so the 50th anniversary, we are preparing to host a rally similar to what Anna Holstein did when she started creating the park and realizing that Washington's headquarters was a very important place. So we're going to host a rally down at Washington's headquarters on July 4th that day. There's going to be extended programming at Muhlenberg's and the Visitor Center. We're working with some external teams to think about running shuttles through the park that day.
Oh, wow.
You know, preparing for if we do get larger crowds, because you all know what traffic's like around there. So again, how do we get people in and out? There's lots of things happening that weekend. We're planning for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, with the 4th being the big day with the rallies at Washington's headquarters.
We
I
should
think we're
put
gonna
that
go-
on the calendar, on
Yeah,
our
we
Yep,
will.
central
I just
calendar.
saw your calendar information, so I will make sure I put that on there. So,
Oh, that'd be
um,
great, Jen. Thank you.
yep, absolutely, absolutely. So,
Hey, Jen, would you put your email address in the chat so we could reach out to you?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, because since we're right up the hill, it's good to communicate. How about you, Lynn?
As far as what's going on in Malvern,
Yeah, well, and you and Frank can share.
so I think last time we were on, I was talking about how we're looking to do a week's worth of events leading up to the Paoli, our Memorial Day parade.
Yes.
So starting Tuesday after Memorial Day and ending on the Sunday after Memorial Day. And I know that we have a definite one, and I saw it on your calendar already. The Historical Commission is doing a tour on Thursday night. Saturday will be a very busy day because we always have things on Saturday. I believe the Paoli Battlefield Preservation Fund does a tour. It's a paid tour, and the money that is brought in from that is donated to the parade committee for the parade on Sunday. Probably goes to the next year, because obviously that's not, they probably paid for what they needed to pay for by that point. So he'll do it's quite an extensive tour for that day. Jim will be doing that. And then we do the picnic in the park, concert in the park. This past year it was at St. Pat's because it was bad weather, but we like to do it in the Paoli Memorial Park if possible.
And who's the music?
It's usually the Chester County Concert Band.
Good.
Frank
Good.
can speak more to that than I can. And then Sunday, of course, is the parade. And I feel like there was something else that was confirmed, but I don't remember what now. And I've spoken to our Parks and Rec committee to see if they would be willing to do something. I feel like Tuesday night was something, and I can't remember what it is. Either Wednesday or Friday. And then the Malvern King Street Revitalization Board, I spoke to them as well about taking the other day to do something. So that
Right, I had encouraged them to do maybe a mural walk.
Yes, I saw that on the calendar that you guys put up in the chat.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think we have a meeting Wednesday morning, and I'll try to get that back on the agenda again so that,
Great.
you know, they're thinking about it. It's coming quicker than we think.
It's amazing.
It's already here.
It's August. Oh my goodness.
But also, I think Malvern is one of these eminently walkable towns that we're also proud of, and that should be highlighted with all these activities.
Yes, very much so. Frank, do you want to add anything for what we're doing besides and of course, you know, we're trying to get our funding and everything for the Heritage Center. And Frank,
And they
you
still haven't passed the budget yet, so
we'll be waiting forever for that.
I know. Yeah, don't plan on taking a train because that won't be happening either.
I know.
Well, we are looking to have, what we did this year was the Chester County Concert Band, as Lynn mentioned. We're in Malvern, and we also had, prior to the concert, a Worrell's Butcher Shop. I had talked with them, and they provided hamburgers and hot dogs for everyone who was there at no charge. And we're looking to do that again next year on that same night, as Lynn pointed out. So we're looking to do that with Worrell's, and because I think it went over very well, and everybody really appreciated it. And who doesn't mind a free meal, especially given by Worrell's, the butcher shop has been here since 1966 in Malvern. So we're looking to do the same thing, and I was hoping that in addition to that, we could have, you mentioned earlier about a reading of the Declaration.
Yeah,
assuming we can get the Heritage Center done, and that's a big assumption at this point, but assuming that we can do that, I'd love to have a reading of the Declaration by a number of people, young people and older people and so on, of the Declaration, because it's long enough and you can have a number of people involved in doing that. So
right, and do check out the resources, Frank, or I'll send you some links, or Lynn can look at it, because we have a lot of resources on how to organize that. In terms of getting a number of people to read, and it's, you know, the language can be weighty, so it's kind of nice to have a little guidance.
No, I intend to go to different schools in the area with
great idea
fundraising part for the Heritage Center, and I want to bring that up at different schools as far as having a reading. So it'd be nice to have an 8th grader and a high schooler and so on and so forth involved in the readings, or in the reading itself. And those are things that I want to bring up to our annual meeting on September 20th, which will be at the Borough Hall, as far as the Paoli Memorial Association is concerned.
Well, that sounds really good. I think you should plan on the reading, whether you have the Heritage Center or not.
Yes,
well, we will.
Promoting you.
I mean, we have that pavilion, which Lynn is very familiar with, and we can use that from a reading standpoint on the grounds, or depending on the weather, and right in front of the gravesite.
Sure.
As far as the 52 soldiers who are buried there, on the Paoli Memorial Association property.
That's pretty epic, actually. I love
it is. It
is. So,
We've
okay,
had
so
somebody join us from Willistown Conservation Trust. I just wanted to say hello, and can you identify yourself?
Is it you, Gretchen?
Hey there, it's Gretchen. I'm working off of my phone, so I apologize for slow technical issues over here.
So Gretchen, we have Shauna from the Willistown Township. So maybe we could hear from you, and then from Shauna, just to talk about what Willistown's thinking about.
And then Barry as well. We'll have
Barry.
We'll have all of Willistown covered.
Yeah, then we got the Willistown covered. What are the thoughts from Willistown?
So this, I'm really just sitting in, kind of listening, just starting kind of our thinking process. So we really haven't kind of come together and put any kind of plan in place. So I would think that over the course of the next, 6 to 8 weeks, we'll have more of an opportunity to kind of mull things over. But we don't have any kind of solid plans right now. So we're in the
Sure.
But we're in
Yeah.
the
You're
idea
not
business.
alone.
Yeah, we're in the idea business here. So this is really great.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about putting an overlay onto something that you already do. You do those like community dinners and you have music and things, and you could put an overlay on that, some patriotic music, etc. You've got those walks that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that we need to reinvent the wheel, but we
Correct.
can,
Yeah.
think about how we can, take advantage of the current programming that we already do. I think
Yeah, that's
that
exactly
would be
it. We
smart.
don't want folks
And
having to recreate the wheel too much with this.
And
Yeah.
and also it's the cost of and staff time of putting together something completely different when you do so many things already. So
Gretchen, I don't know if you can access this from your phone, but it will come in a follow-up email anyhow. I just popped the Google Doc that we maintain back into the chat for your region.
Okay.
We have a calendar growing on there for that everybody can see as events are starting to start getting created and or thought about. Feel free to pop things into that calendar or let us know and we will do that. But you'll also be able to see what other folks are up to.
Okay, that's great. That's
And
great
either
to have
plan
that
around or
visibility.
plan with them. Yeah, whatever.
exactly, a part of our planning is to co-promote as well.
Yes, exactly.
So I could see Run Amok being a make the colors of the shirts red, white, and blue. Yeah. So Shauna and Barry.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
So the rest of Willistown, what Barry?
Sure. So most of Sugartown's founded after the revolution. So our goal is to look at and probably tailor our tours to talk about the transformation of the area from 1776 to 1876. And primarily looking at economic and agricultural ways in which the area has changed.
Absolutely.
The other big thing is looking at how the Quakers viewed the Revolution versus the Civil War, because they interacted that. We've got a lot of records showing some of those differences. I don't have any real special events, but I'd like to, as a test, two things that I'd love to have here for our regular beer gardens would be there's a group called Historical Harmonies, which are an a cappella group that does colonial. They're actually, well, they're called Historical Harmonies. Sometimes the colonial revelers. They do tavern songs.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Revolutionary era. And then at the end of the year, I'd love to have the Fort Delaware Cornet Band perform here.
I'm up for a tavern song.
They're Civil War, but it'd be a good contrast. We'd usually have more current music for our beer gardens, so I hope it doesn't frighten anyone when they come in and it's all marching band music for an evening. But if you've never heard the Fort Delaware Cornet Band, they're incredible. And Historical Harmonies are wonderful too. So, but for the most part, it's tailoring our tours to talk about that big gap in time and how this area really did transform quite a bit in those 100 years.
Okay. How about you, Shauna?
Yeah, I'll echo a couple of things. First of all, we're certainly intending to, I forget what the word you used, but utilize our existing events to, emphasize, to incorporate some of the 250 programming to our existing events. I really like the wish wall idea, and we intend to do a dare to declare at one of our existing park events as well.
Great.
I'm not going to step on the toes of our historical commission. We don't have any reps from our historical commission here, but I will echo what Historic Sugartown just said. We share a lot of history, obviously, the township itself with Historic Sugartown, as it's one of our historic village areas. And in terms of specifically the agricultural and economic aspects, I think are what we would focus on leave the specific locations to those locations. Obviously, we're close
Right, sure.
up in the borough and Valley Forge. So, and I do know the chair of our historical commission has been, or members of our historical commission have involvement with Paoli Battlefield as well. So
I also think maybe now is the time to restate that it's actually this is the time to reinvest and reacquaint ourselves with our founding roots and values and documents, because they're living things.
absolutely.
And so it's not really, yes, we have to honor the past, but we need to move forward, and liberty and justice for all is an ongoing journey. And so that's really something that we need to, it doesn't have to be, I'm thinking about our Karen, the head of the Chester County Community Foundation. She always says, it's not about the old lady with the wooden bucket and the wrinkled dress standing in front of a cabin. It's today, it's our history and our future.
Excellent.
So even if you weren't founded in 1776.
Yeah, I mean, it is, we want to incorporate, revolution was just the start of American.
Exactly. I love that.
So, we are hopeful about, some that we can incorporate some of the rest of Willistown's history that extends, maybe not as far back into the celebration, because it is a part of our American history here in Willistown.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's an America's an evolution in progress, I guess.
Yeah.
Could
Yes.
say. Shauna, have you considered incorporating a layer of 250 to the Go Wilma programs? Are you still doing those?
Yes, we do still do that. That's for anybody who doesn't know, that's our summer outdoor program that we collaborate with our local libraries as a part of summer reading. We also have a summer outdoor program. And yes, absolutely, we are hopeful to layer perhaps some of the theming. It's a little tricky because we always do base our theme off of the I think it's the American Library Association, whoever comes up with.
Right, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So our theme is usually, it's not a direct, mimic of the theme, but we do try to coordinate with that theme. And I think the theme is like archaeology for next year. So it's
interesting.
We've been mulling over like quote unquote digging into history or things like that.
Oh, clever.
Tie it in. We're not sure what we're going to do with that, but yes, we absolutely want to, incorporate some of the historical.
Also know that we have reached out to all of the libraries and Joe Sherwood, the head of the Chester County Library System, about these watch parties, for the Ken Burns documentary. And they really picked up on it, and I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see some information on that. So, keep on collaborating.
Yeah. Very good. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else I have not heard from?
Oh, we haven't heard from the TE folks. Hey, Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
What do you got to say?
let's travel east. But first, by the way, I think this is a splendid idea to bring our townships and boroughs together. This is a smart idea.
Good.
So I'm going to go from narrow to larger, and larger will include everybody probably on this call. Just narrowly, we did submit some budget into the township for 2026 for three things. One, banners for the streetlights, which will probably focus in Chesterbrook, but these would be 250 banners. Our old banners are frayed, tattered, and faded. So that's one thing that a couple of the senior staff was interested in. We put in a request to put interpretive signs in our parks, and that's actually leveraging some success that Easttown Township has had, putting in township markers. So
with QR codes on them that people can just put their phone up to.
Actually, yes, I'll just say yes on that. It's complicated. And then the third, which begins to tie us all together, we've been working for 2 years on having a British reenactment group in Tredyffrin, because the British Hessian troops squatted in Tredyffrin for 3 nights, and it's from Tredyffrin that the raid on Paoli occurred. So we've actually been working with one of the British units that showed up at Paoli battlefield a year ago. And they're very interested in having a small camp in Tea Garden Park in 2026, and then a very large contingent in 2027, which will include a march from Tredyffrin into Malvern Borough. So
Oh, that's great.
That'd be very cool.
that is a project to be coordinated, and I'm going to come to that in a second. I also just wanted to say our Heritage Center at Dupertai House is moving along. Angela's been very helpful, as is the foundation. So they are going to do a Dare to Declare
On July 4th, I believe.
on their front porch. We're going to have another Dare to Declare in Wilson Farm Park during the summer, somewhere around the 4th. But Dupertai House, one of the things I do with the Chester County Commission is, again, with Angela's help, we've been trying to secure these digital kiosks, and those would show up at both Paoli Battlefield Heritage Center and Dupertai Heritage Center. So we've been working on the commission very hard to try to secure more money out of the county commissioners to develop the content for those and the networking capability. There would be up to, and Heather knows this quite well, there would be up to maybe a dozen kiosks in the first year. So I'm bird dogging that pretty hard. Jim Christ, of course, is on the commission too, so he knows about this. The last thing I guess I'll say is some of you may be aware that the Battle of Brandywine has a task force, and it covers 15 townships, and they've been around for 30 years, and they've had great success in putting in, interpretive signs, audio tours, maps, a lot of promotion. And Janine Spears at the county has promoted that we create such a task force for the Battle of Paoli. So Bart Van Valkenburg and I went to talk to Janine 2 weeks ago about how to create that, and we were specifically looking at the VPP, the county's Vision Partnership Program grant. And Bart and I left feeling that we should not pursue the grant, and that the grant would actually be better. The grant actually produces a report which requires a consultant, which requires all 4 municipalities to play nice together, and we just concluded that we could do the same without the formality of the county grant by just working together. So Bart and I are going to come to Shauna. This is something that you'll hear more about. Easttown knows about it. Malvern Borough, we have to talk to Jim and you, Frank, about it. The missing element is East Whiteland. We still haven't gotten a hearing from them yet about their interest. But the purpose of this, and Janine basically said the start of this, is to create a 1-page executive summary for what the intent, purpose, and expectations are. And it basically would just be a coordination around events leading up to, and I think the big event would be this march from Tredyffrin to Malvern, which goes through at least 4 of the 5 municipalities. So anyway, you'll hear more about that from us. But we want to formalize that because it's focused on tourism, it's focused on protecting our resources, it's focused on elevating the understanding in our residents of all this history, which is largely hard to see because of our development up here. So anyway, so that is coming. And Shauna, you and I met at the I guess it was it the Berwyn Devon business meeting, or maybe it was the Paoli one. This will tie into the business groups as well. So Anyway, that's enough for me for now. So
Sounds great.
Janice and Pearl, did you want to?
I don't have anything to add to what Rob has said. I think he's been working very hard and doing a tremendous job of leadership for the township, and I'm grateful to be part of that commission.
Pretty much I concur with Janice. Rob is doing a great job leading us, you know, in getting really having visibility for the 250th. And it's very important to me because I feel like I've been here 250 years, and please don't comment on that, but I've been around for a long time. And so, and I'm very anxious. I mean, I'm really excited about it, and I appreciate all that that you're doing, Angela, as well. And so, you know, like I said, I'm here to listen, to learn. That's what I want to do. I want to participate on the 4th. I have some ideas, which I will share with Rob at some point. And I guess I mostly appreciate being included in the group. This is a very important group. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to say something else regarding the Tredyffrin Easttown. You know, I live in Tredyffrin, but the idea Stacy Ballard is not here, but is Easttown, and she's spearheading through her work. Eda Enterprises, they're sponsoring several murals along the main line. So there's an example of somebody who's using the 250th to really energize the community around these wonderful art works. I was reminded of it when you said Berwyn, because there's a fabulous new mural at the Berwyn train station. There's also one in across from Clay's Bakery. I noticed another one sort of in a little alleyway there in Berwyn, but they're moving up into the main line more and more. And so I think that's kind of another exciting opportunity, is to energize the community, just to be involved, civic engagement.
Right.
yeah,
So I noticed that there's a mural in Malvern. I mean, I knew that the mural with the train was there because I've seen it before, but I was coming up King Street and saw a mural. I don't know how long it's been there, but I was stuck in traffic for a few seconds and I noticed that mural. And I got to say, I think that the effect that murals have on people when they drive through a community is the impact is so great that the more that we have that people can look at, photograph, research on their township's website, that's really, to me, the biggest engagement point right now. Just those murals, we should be featuring them in whatever way we have with, you know, like for us, it's the commission, but I also have my own website and I'm on Facebook and all the other, everybody's social media. So using those murals to engage people into getting involved in the 250, I think is a great opportunity.
We have
And
3 murals in Malvern Borough and the bridge as artwork from the high school.
so I'm on the newly formed Tredyffrin Township Arts Commission, and we're discussing some murals as well. When we found out from Stacy how much murals cost, we're thinking about maybe doing ones that you can move around. So we would do it like something at Wilson Farm Park, or you know, things like that, where we're talking about using art to energize people, and we're doing maybe a wish wall in 2026, but this community day we're going to have like a haiku wall where people
that's
can
fun.
write the haikus and do some origami, coming together in meaningful engagement. So
If you're serious about an art mural, you should talk to I don't know if the art classes in the local high school or the community college also. That might be something like somebody might want to take on as like a senior project, or
that's they have a lot of the students painting, you know, the electrical cover boxes for things. They have that. We're going to have a student art show. But the mural at the Berwyn train station he's a local artist, actually, a Tredyffrin artist. And he just, I knew him from, you know, he went to the same elementary school my kids did. And so he's really amazingly talented. And you see a lot of it's very quirky. He was in a terrible accident, so he's, you know, disabled to a great extent, and he does fabulous work. And it's a good way to engage artists as well. So.
Yep. And just before we hang up, somebody had requested my email. I put it in the chat. I also put the link to the encampment store where
Yeah,
you can buy
thank
the
you.
shirts
Oh,
in the
that's
chat.
great.
And I put Valley Forge's the link to their website where their upcoming commemorations that they'll be
Good.
updating constantly.
That's
So
super
that's all in
great.
there for you guys.
Thank you
Mhm.
for
Thank
that.
you.
That would be great. Anything else for the good of the order? I think we'll have a larger group once Labor Day comes.
Yeah, just so you all have it on your calendar, the next meeting is Monday, September 8th at noon.
Have any of you seen this from Cana Academy about the history and history of 250? And these are different segments that they have put together. They're only, they're not very long. They're talking 10, 12 minutes as far as each segment is concerned.
Did you say
Really?
Khan Academy?
Cana, C-A-N-A.
Okay.
Cana Academy. And
Okay.
I've put these up at the Borough Hall. My son, these are done, as I say, Cana Academy. My son knows the individual who is putting this together, has done all the history and the work on this. And they're very interesting, these different segments. So anyway, I just thought I'd point that out.
Oh,
And I've
that's
had these little brochures up there at the Borough Hall, which I picked up when I was down at his place. He's just outside of DC. And anyway, they're very nice, very, very informative, and done in a very objective manner.
So their website's very easy to read and access, and they have a History
Yeah.
250 button right up on it.
Oh,
And
look at
they
that.
received a
Yes.
Heritage Foundation grant last year.
There you go. So I didn't look at all that stuff. You're good at pulling all that stuff in.
I'll pop it into the chat.
Just call me Queen of Google.
There you go.
I was doing the same thing. I'm terrible about that now, but you can usually find this stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is good. And Frank, that's a great resource as well. The more the merrier.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And a lot of organizations, it seems like every other day I'm finding another source of civic education sources, and things about the Constitution or the Declaration. We're learning more and more, and the people are starting to, or organizations are starting to put out more and more information. So as we hear about it, we'll share it. If you hear of anything, please by all means forward it to us, and we'll pass it around, because it's all good stuff. And anything from helping teachers to organizations plan for 250, it's good for everyone.
Yeah.
I've just started reading a trilogy, and this one, the first book is The British Are Coming. And it starts from the Lexington and Concord up to Trenton and Princeton. And that's the first of the trilogy. It's done by Rick Atkinson.
Oh.
And a friend gave me the second volume, not realizing that it was part of a trilogy. So I went out and got the first volume, and I figured I'd better read the first before I read the second. And again, it's very illuminating, to say the least. It's a very good read. So
right, The Fate of the Day is this other book.
Right, that's the second one.
Right. So another Bruce Maudry, did I pronounce his name right?
Maudry.
Right. He wrote a book on Lafayette, which I read, which I found very interesting, and gives a whole other aspect to the revolution that you don't think about. People around the world. I mean, what did they say? That the American Revolution changed the world, not just this country. And so you really realize that when you're reading about Lafayette, knowing that he had to come here to do this. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else for the good of the order? We could have a little book club.
That's great.
Okay. Thank you all. I'll see you
Very
in
good.
September and
Yes,
spread the
thank
word.
you.
See you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
September.
We'll see
There's
you
a cue
soon.
for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye now.
Bye.
I'm gonna have to jump off. Heather, you're still recording, so
Okay, I will turn it off.
yeah, I have another